beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback. I'm just concentrating on not leaving the rod over the side. And his eyes. He's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm out on the beach, beavering away. 2 rods in the water. And I'm fishing. It's a bit of a revelation, this one. I'm fishing out of the fishing wagon, the new improved sporty low-roofed fishing wagon. So the only downfall of the previous fishing wagon was the roof was too high. Loads of barriers now to stop camper vans and things getting into beach car parks. With the low roof, under 2 meters high, I can get into the beachside car parks now, so I can fish out the van. So it's not nice weather tonight. There's a bit of a wind, the odd chance for a drizzle. I didn't want to be setting up a beach shelter with the wind, so I thought I'd come down to Hamble, near Hamble Point, in the bay, next to the gun. If anyone knows where that is, that's where I'm fishing. I've got 2 rods in the water and I'm fishing. Ragworm baits. One rig is the loop rig, 2-hook loop rig that we've done on the channel, and there should be a how-to or in the description. And the wishbone rig, which is another recent rig. And yesterday, the prelude to this film, I showed you how I packed up all my tackle and all my kit ready for this session. So all it now needs is some fish. I've got my bucket of water on standby, camera's rigged, rods are rigged, gear's good, worms are excellent, really good ragworm today. Yeah, excited. So high water's about 20 past 9 and it's just coming up for 7 o'clock. 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours of the flood, an hour after the flood, and it's New Year's Eve. So I've got to rush back for a little drinky poo, be with the family for bringing in the new year. But yeah, what would you do up until then? Sat watching the telly, partying on, catching COVID. I don't know, I'm fishing. So that's what we're up to. As soon as anything happens, as soon as we get some action, I'll give you a shout and we'll call you back, eh? Yeah, so it's a bit of luxury. Sat out the side door of the van. Could be out the back doors, could be the other side door. Twin sliders, leather seats, air conditioning. It's all a bit of luxury now. Got some nice LED lights inside as well. But obviously that would blank out what the camera can see. So it's nice. I'm sat here looking across at Forley. All the lights are Forley in the distance. Got 2 rods in front of me. And it's just nice to be out on the beach, right on the shoreline. I've reversed right up to the parking bollards. Cracking little spot. Whether there's any fish here or not is another matter altogether. You know what that's like. It's no good being where the fish ain't. Yeah. So this is the setup for this evening. Let's hope we can catch something, okay? I've had to retreat the camera back into the van because all the mist and fog and the occasional shower. So camera's not waterproof. It's got to stay in out of the way. But I'm getting rattled, and I thought, oh, it's waiting, you know, tiny pin waiting. And this one wasn't. This one is, and he's in a bucket of water. So he's very sprightly. He's very lively. Whoa, easy puppy. You can see he's absolutely bristling. And he's tiny. He's a weeny one. And he's going to jump out of my hands again. So back in the bucket of water he goes. He is lively. He's a lively little critter, tiny little school bass. I was catching them 4 and 5 at a time on feathers during the summer. And the fog has come, you could probably hear the foghorns in the background. If it eases up a little bit, I'll get the camera back outside. When the wind comes in, it clears, and then the wind drops right off, and then the fog really rolls in quick. But yeah, one tiny little school bass. They're tiny. 1 all. So this was on the wishbone rig, and the other one was on the bass. This is a little pin tooth whiting, and the bass was on the 2-hook loop rig. So it's 1 all. Gonna get this one in because he's fragile. The wishbone rig's just screamed away into the lead with a double shot of teeny tiny bass. I'm not even going to try and unhook them and put them in the bucket. I'm going to get them off at the water's edge. They're very, very lightly hooked. In fact, I'm lying. One's a bass and one's a ting. A double shot of tiny tinies. I'm going to go and get these back in. Well, there are literally buckets of fish. And when I say buckets of fish, they're all about 5-6 inches. I've got buckets of them. That, on my boat, would be a bait. That, for a bass, because it's catch and release, it's that season, wet hands, try and look after them. And tings. More tings than you can shake a stick at. But tiny. All of them tiny. Teeny tiny tings. And I've got one little tiny 4-inch ting that didn't quite make it. So I think for the last half hour he might go out as a bait. How are the rigs fishing? Same. Even Stevens. Except for that double shot on the wishbone rig. They're both bringing in fish. There are so many small fish out there. Oh, got a bite on the left rod. Bite on the right rod. It's not exactly rod bending action. Caught 7 or 8, 3 or 4 bass, 5 tings, something like that. I want a flounder. I want a little flatty fish. That's what I want. The wishbone rig seems to be good at bringing in the double shots. Let's check the double shots, albeit tiny double shots. 2 little tiny schoolie bass. Look at the size of them. They are tiny. I'm going to get these straight back in. Do it right at the water's edge, I think. In fact, put them in the bucket, safest way, and then I'll get them back in. But yeah, double shots on the little wishbone rig. Fog's cleared, wind's picked up a little bit. I've had close to 20 fish now. All tings and small little schoolie bass. And the difference between them, in all honesty, the difference between them is in ounces. This one might have been 2 ounces, that one might have been 3. You know, we're talking that kind of size. They are absolutely minuscule. But we're catching them. We've got small rigs out and we're catching small fish. But there's always a chance for big fish. There's always a chance of the target species. Although, let's be completely honest, not as much as at night as during the day. I think they're more active during the day. There's still the chance of a sole from here. You do get sole from here from time to time. And obviously spring, summer you get smooth hounds. You do get rays along here. I've not heard of stingers from this part. But over the other way we've heard of stingers being caught. Never significant sizes though. Only the low doubles, you know. 10s, 11s, 12s. Something like that. But yeah. That's what I'm up to, catching loads of little teeny tiny fish. Wishbone's had 2 double shots so far. I think it's the proximity of the bait, you know. When the bait's really close together and one comes in and grabs it, another one competes for it. And that's why you get the double shots. I used to get double shots of flounder like that back in the day. Yeah, interesting stuff. It's all fishing. Big and small, we love them all. Well, time's crept up on me and I can't afford to be late. So it's 9 o'clock, high water's at 20 past 9. I was going to fish till about 9:30 at least. But I think by the time I've packed up, got everything in the van, scoot off home, I need to spend time with the family. So, ending with a double shot, a ting and a bass. Tiny little things. Yeah, so the rigs work, albeit catching the fish that are in front of me, which are small fish. Size 4 hooks, ragworm baits, no flounder. So the intention is to come back tomorrow morning, light, daytime tides, fish the flood and the ebb until those worm that I've got are exhausted, until they've gone. So I'm going to tag that onto the back of this film as well. So the next time you see me, it's going to be daytime. We get out there, we see if we can catch a few, eh? See if we can catch this flounder. Blooming elusive, isn't it? It was easier catching 174 pound skate than it is catching a Solent Flounder. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to pack the gear up, and when we spin the page, it'll be daylight. Welcome back to the morning after the night before. I'm a bit further along the beach. So last night we fished for about 4 hours into the evening in the dark, and it was a ting stroke schoolie fest. They were all of about 5, 6, 7 ounces, 4, 5 inches. Some of the tings were tiny. They were only about 4 inches long. Still after that elusive flounder. So this is the favoured mark. And like an idiot, I burnt through my worm too quick last night, didn't I? So I haven't got that much worm today. There's something going on with the right rod there. Yeah, a very, very faint. Oh, maybe. Anyway, we're after a flounder. If I got one, I'd be happy. And I'm already cut off. Hard to tell. But as you can see in the background, tide's going to come up to that tide line, and I've got nowhere to go. But I have got an escape route out the back. I can lift the rods up onto the bank, and I can fish off the bank. Yeah, the tide's pushing quite hard now. So yeah, a bit of a faux pas. I've got bait, I've got other stuff, I've got bits and pieces. I bought a little selection out with me. But the main thing is the ragworm for the flounder. I'm going to have to move in a minute. I'm going to have to move further back. Didn't plan this out very well. I'm a bit tired, a bit jaded. New Year's Day, New Year's Eve last night. There is a proper little, there might be a little rattle on that, you know. I'll tell you what, if I got one first cast, I'll be a happy boy. All the conditions are right, daytime, winter. Intel says, intelligence suggests this is the right place. Right, I need to move some stuff before I get flooded out. Wind's starting to pick up. I'm on my 6th bait up now, so I've had 6 casts on both rods, and absolutely not a touch. Excuse the pun, but it's like night and day. Last night I couldn't keep 2 rods in the water, and the rods were jingle jangle, jingle jangle, jingle jangle, albeit small fish. And today this is very, very focused towards flounder fishing. Put my microphone on. The flounder fishing, and there aren't any. There really aren't any. So tomorrow, this leads on to something else. Let's just lighten that up, because it's got dark all of a sudden, isn't it? There we go, we're all lightened up now. Yeah, so tomorrow, going to try a different area altogether, 50 miles away. Chasing flounder, the elusive flounder. It's crazy, isn't it? Used to catch them by the bucket load when I was a kid. I had one last year. I tried and tried and tried, I had one last year. You could argue I'm not fishing in the right spot. I've got the wind on my back, I'm shielding the mic. The sun is out, it's lovely, lovely and warm. I'm lovely and warm. Everything's fishing well, the rigs are fishing well. I'm still fishing the 2-hook loop and the wishbone in comparison. They're equally rubbish today. Neither of them are catching anything. They were on fire last night. I think if I was to call it, the wishbone rig had it last night. Double shots. I think that competitive 2 baits close to each other, a fish takes one and then the other one comes to have a look, see what's going on. Whereas the loop rig, you're putting them further apart. You're putting one over here and one over there, and you're edging your bets. But if you catch one on the wishbone rig, it definitely seems to strike some kind of competitive thing. It'd be interesting tomorrow when we try a different venue for the flounder, if the wishbone then catches double shot of flounder, or the flounder take both hooks. So the weather front is building, the wind is building, it's forecast rain. I'm going to fish it right until the point where it starts to look like it's going to honk it down, and then I'm going to call it quits. Haven't given up until the worm are gone or the rain starts coming down. And I'm not being a fair weather fisherman. It's New Year's Day. I've got New Year's Day dinner with the family and stuff to think about. But I was keen to try last night and today in comparison, night and day. It means the world to me to catch one. Absolutely the world to me. More than some of the bigger fish that I've caught. More so from here than anything. I can't explain why. I've been thinking about it. Why does it mean so much to me? I can go somewhere else around the country and catch flounder. I know that. I want to catch one here. This is my childhood stomping ground. This is where I used to catch them as a kid. Well, what a session. Disappointing to say the least. Last night, rods are on fire. Today, static and dormant. Oh well, here we go. So, what's happened? Last night, absolutely plagued by tings and schoolies, and today, not even a touch. Not so much as a little knock rattle, not even a confidence booster to tell me they're there. Burnt through my worm, fished the full flood and the double flood. We get 2 high tides here. That may seem strange to some people. Tide comes in, tide goes out. Not in Southampton water. Tide comes in, goes out a little bit, comes in again, and then goes out. So the guys further along from the beach from me fish here regularly. Even they commented to come over and had a chat earlier on. Very, very quiet. I think he's had a couple. I think he's had a schoolie. But that's not really why we're here. And I could possibly change the baits around, put out a 2-hook clip down and some squid strips, and pick out a couple of schoolies, maybe. But that's not what I'm here for. So, the flounder hunt continues. So where have we fished recently? Fished last night, today, Hamble. A week ago, fished Hythe Reclaimed Land. Fished Park Shore the week before that. And not a single one. Not a single flounder to be seen. So tomorrow I've got high hopes. Going to a flounder hotspot. So there may be a film out in short succession after this one with me actually catching a flounder. That'd be a turn up for the books. Still not what I want though. I want to catch one here. So I'm just going to have to keep putting the hours in, aren't I? They are here, they're just not in big numbers. This is the first day. I wanted to fish January the 1st, 2022. I've started the season off with a blank. Still watching those rod tips. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.